was Dragonfiles from the Greenwood tree by Marjorie Helyer. This is the A2 piece of the ABRSM Piano Grade 1 exam pieces for 2022 to 2023. This is a flowing elegant piece in 3/4 time, going at a brisk pace in allegretto, crotchet at 120 beats per minute, but we need to do so gracefully. We also have a B flat in the key signature. So remember to play the B flat key if you see a B note, unless there is a natural sign next to it, which would just mean you would play the B note instead. We have 3 8-bar sections here. The first and last section flows downwards while the middle section flows upwards. The main thing in this piece is that we need to flow from hand to hand. First example being in bar 1. We have the right hand playing 4 notes, and then the left hand plays 2 notes. Now all of the 6 notes in the bar with an extra note on the second bar are all slurred, meaning that they need to be played smoothly. Take care that the note on bar 2 is a natural and not a flat, as well as the transition from the left to the right is in time, meaning that there is no gaps. We don't want a gap in here. We also don't want the thumbs to be hitting too hard, which will make the middle of the bar sound louder than it should be. We don't want the accent on the thumbs here, which would ruin the peacefulness of the music, which is also bad. In bar 2 to 4 we have a new rhythm. The left hand is held on for 3 beats, while the right hand it has a rest on the first beat, quavers on the second beat, and then slurred with a crotchet. So the rhythm for both hands, counting in 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So in bar 2 example. Couple points here to note. The left hand needs to be held on for the whole 3 beats and not let go early. We're doing semitone steps down from the B note, and then to a B flat, and then to an A. The rest at the right hand of the start of the bar is important to bring out the left hand bass note. The right hands are also stirred together, so they need to be smooth inside the bar. And finally, for the last 2 sets of the right hand in bar 3 and 4, we have to fold the hand from the 4th finger on the G note so that we can get to the thumb on the F note. So putting together bars 2 to 4. Bar 5 to 7 has the same notes as bar 1 to 3, but we are using a slightly different fingering than the start. We start our left hand with a 2nd finger instead of the thumb, meaning that for the 3rd note, the B note, we have to slide our thumb under the C to get to the B here. This is so that we can play the chord in bar 8 with our 3rd and 5th finger here. So a demo for bar 5 to 8 with both hands. A new rhythm in the 2nd phrase, and also doing the opposite with our hands as well. We're going up 2 notes from the left hand and then swapping to the right hand. The rhythm is that we have 2 quavers on the left hand, and then on the right hand we have 2 quavers and a crotchet. So the rhythm counting in 3 is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. A demo on bar 9. On bar 10 and 11 we have a hairpin pointing to the right, meaning that we get louder. And the loudest point is the crotchet B flat with a little stretch for the pinky on bar 11. So from bar 9. After that we start to come back down, as well as getting quieter in bar 12. On the right hand there is a crossover on the thumb from the E note to the D note on the 3rd finger. So it's on the right hand on bar 12. The left hand is the minimum chord on the C and F note, and we also need to rest on the last beat. Putting together bar 11 to 13 with the dynamic change. Bar 13 and 14 is the same as bar 9 and 10, but we have cres, meaning crescendo, so we're getting louder earlier. Bar 15 is slightly different rhythm, swapping the last crotchet into 2 quavers. The starting note here is an F note instead of the D notes from before. When we're playing the crotchet on bar 14 with our pinky, we can close our hand so that the thumb can get to the F note on bar 14. In bar 15 there is also a crescendo as well as a B natural on the last quaver. So bar 15. All of that getting louder from bar 13 and 15 is leading us to get to forte, meaning loud, for the chord in bar 16. The final phrase is pretty much the same as the first phrase, back onto playing softly with some minor differences towards the end from bar 22. First we see dim and rit. Dim is diminuendo, meaning getting quieter, and rit is ritardo, meaning getting slower. So towards the end of the piece, we're getting quieter and slower. In bar 23, the right hand is the same as bar 7, but the left hand will have an extra C note on the third beat. If you're playing with the B flat with your second finger, as with the last fingering we had, if you can reach the pinky with your C, then that's good. If you can't, you've got a couple of different options. The first one is that you can swap the second finger to a thumb and then use the pinky for your C note. So going from bar 21. The second option is that we start off the crossover with a thumb on the D note, which will bring us to a third finger on the B natural. And then we can go to the B flat on the thumb, sliding slightly forwards, and then the pinky on the C. So that was the second option. The first option being a swap. So the choice is yours, just whichever fingering is the most comfortable for you. The final bar has the same notes as bar 8, slightly different fingering on the left hand due to the low C note. So we're using 1 and 2 on our left hand, and we're on a PP, a pianissimo, meaning very soft. So a demo for the end. And that's the end of the piece. Well, that was the tutorial on Dragonflies by Marjorie Helyer. This is a very peaceful and flowing piece, so being even on the quavers and transition between the left and the right hand is important. We need to get it as if it's being played by one hand. If you're having trouble, make sure that your wrist is loose and your fingers aren't too far away from the keys. The small dynamic change here is also important as well, especially in the second phrase to get louder and the last couple of phrases to get quieter. Rhythmically, there is a little bit of going on, but if you practice counting, then it should be fine. Hopefully that was useful to you. This is the second of the grade 1 pieces. Check out the other pieces in the playlist when they're up. Give a like and subscribe if you like what I did here. Put a comment down below if you want me to go over anything specific, or if you want to share your own tips and tricks with your fellow viewers. I'll see you in the next video on Master of None. Bye!